Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy ChronicTurbo, and today we are at Posner Park, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat, and we have the all-new 2027 Chrysler Pacifica. This is the limited trim, and we're going to review this one today. So this vehicle is in black, and the actual color for this vehicle is actually diamond black crystal pearl. Very nice to look at, if you ask me. And it does have the S appearance package, which adds some more black touches. You know, it got the black surround on the grille, and you do have full LEDs as well going across the front for the daytime running lamps as well as the headlights. As you can see, I'm gonna back up a little bit. Everything lights up, even all the way across the grille. That's pretty nice. It's a nice step up from the previous gen. Well, previous model. I wouldn't say previous gen. I mean, it's more like a refresh than a whole entire new vehicle. But it's a nice look. Doesn't look like a Chrysler 200 that's been stretched out anymore. You know, I think it's pretty cool. You do have this nice design right here, these little triangles right there. Looks very modern, very sleek. And of course, your grille is very futuristic looking. It's not your standard grille. You do have some openings in there to allow some airflow because you do have a naturally aspirated 6-cylinder under the hood. Thank God. You know, a lot of places are going inline 4s and turbos and all this other stuff. So it's nice to still have 6-cylinders in this day and age. But of course, we're going to go around the sides of the wheels. You have 245s with all season tires on all four corners. And you have 18-inch black painted wheels. These are diamond cut. Well, that's the design of them. Honestly, I think they're pretty damn nice. They're pretty damn nice. And going around the side of the vehicle, now the actual side profile is pretty much the same as the previous. But what else can you really say about it? It's a vehicle that everybody loves in America, especially if you're like rich or anything like that. Sorry about that. Somebody was honking in the background. You know, there's a lot of traffic going on here today at Posner Park because, you know, get pretty busy here. But as you can see, we're around the rear of the vehicle. You have your Pacifica S badge right there and your limited badge. And like I said, this is the S appearance package. So you do have that special badging with the blacked out logos and everything like that. So it adds a nice touch to the vehicle. Full LEDs on the rear for brake light, reverse light, everything's full LED, which is extremely nice. And of course, you have your rear view camera. Well, backup camera. I know rear view camera actually means the rear view mirror, so on and so forth. So I'm not going to drag on that too much. And you do have a single steel exhaust tip right there. I'll go ahead and put in an exhaust clip so you can hear how that sounds actually. All right, now let's go ahead and pop the trunk open. We could talk about what the space looking like on the inside. I just slipped my foot right under here. Hold on. Sorry, it takes some while for me to get used to it. Every time I do it, it's a little bit trippy. You know, third time's the charm. But of course, the amount of space that we have in here is actually pretty damn good. We're looking at 32.3 cubic feet of space behind the third row. And if you fold this row down, you're going to get 87.5 cubic feet of space and a maximum of 140.5 cubic feet of space. Pretty damn nice. It is manually folding. You have to pull on straps for everything, but that's okay. I'm not going to demonstrate the fold down because it's manual. You guys know how to do it. You pull on this strap, you pull on that strap. The Chrysler Pacifica has been around for a ton of years at this point. And of course, you have your 12-volt right there on the side as well. And you hold this right here to close the trunk back up. You do have some storage in here as well. If you want to stow in. Actually, I wouldn't even say it's storage because you just have your vacuum in there. On some vehicles that don't have the vacuum option, that is actually a storage. And it's a pretty deep well in here as well. I know I'm a little corny. I'm sorry, guys. That's a perk of following me on my channel. You know, you get a few dad jokes, you get a few corny jokes here and there. I just try to relate to my, peoples, man. You make sure everybody is comfortable watching my videos. But that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and get into the actual dimensions of the vehicle. We're talking about a total length of 204.3 inches, a width of 79.6, a height of 70.7, and a wheelbase of 121.6 inches. Ground clearance, we have a total of 5.1 inches, so not too crazy big. Honestly, for a minivan, it's pretty standard. I think it's actually pretty sleek too. Pretty stylish for a minivan. It doesn't have that very boxy, ugly look. It's very modern. And the Pacifica has always been that, at least in recent years, since its recent body style changes. And I would like to say that's what made it so popular as well. A lot of people buy vehicles like this because they don't want the other minivans. They don't want to feel like they're driving a minivan. They want to feel like they're driving something cooler. But let's go ahead. Let's pop the hood. We're going to talk about the engine specs, some of the power, and what's driving this beast. All right. Here we are. We're under the hood. We're looking at this 3.6 liter V6 engine. We're talking about 287 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque, paired with a 9-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in 7.3 seconds. I know, right? This is front-wheel drive. You have 19 in the city, 28 on the highway for 22 mpg combined. Max towing capacity of 3,600 pounds. I mean, you could do a lot worse. And you do have a naturally aspirated V6, so that's a big plus. And power-wise, it actually has more power than a lot of modern three-row SUVs that you have out there. So that's why this vehicle is so popular. That's why people love it so much. And I can't blame you for liking this vehicle. I really cannot. It's a really cool vehicle as far as like mom cars go. But that's enough for under the hood. Of course, we don't have hydraulic hood struts. We do have a prop rod. I will take off points for that. But other than that, pretty clean engine bay. As you know, tried and true engines, been around for a long time. You guys know the deal with this one. So nothing new that you have to figure out. Let's go ahead and hop inside the third row. We'll talk about some of the space back there and my experience. All right, we're over to the side of the vehicle. We're going to go ahead and hop into this last row. I do this because I love you guys. I like to keep it pretty thorough most of the time, most of the time. But as you can see, seat slides forward, dips down a little bit, allows plenty of clearance for you to step right on in. I'm 6'1", I'm a pretty hefty guy, but I'm going to show you how easy it is for me to get inside this vehicle. As you can see, I get in no problem. I pull the seat back. I do have plenty of space back here. That's why I said this is the type of vehicle that you will buy if you have a decent sized family. That's why it's the best selling right now, as far as like, family vehicles that outsells the SUVs for the most part. Not all the time, but it's definitely the best selling van that we have in America right now. And for good reasons, of course. Plenty of leg room in this last row. I'm extremely comfortable back here. I'm not uncomfortable at all. Of course, you have climate control back here as well. Your AC vents going across the top. Hard touch plastic pretty much everywhere back here. Don't expect to be sitting in the lap of luxury, but that's okay. I can't really knock what you got going on in here. Like, if you bought a vehicle like this, what do you really expect? This is a car that you get to take care of your family. You do have this camera system, so you can watch your rear occupants, actually, which is good for when you have small children, you're sitting on the last row, you want to be able to keep an eye on them. It does link to that front screen up there. I think that's pretty nice, guys. I mean, what do you really have to argue about in that situation? Like, it's damn good. But this is black Napa leather. Feels pretty nice. But it's hot. I didn't turn on the climate control for the rear because I'm a dummy. Let's go ahead and hop into the second row. We're going to actually turn that on. And then we're going to hop up front talk about some of the specs of the screens, the technology that you get up there, and some of the interior features. Okay. Let's see, is it as easy getting out as it is getting in? And as you can see, I'm a big guy, but I just step right on out, slide it back. Okay. We have to turn this on. Yes. My God. Go ahead and close the door. You do have a button right there. We can have the door slide right on forward. Boom. We are comfortable now. Type A, Type C, USB ports on the back of both seats. You do have a cargo net back here. Doesn't give a lot of privacy in terms of what you put back there, but that's okay, guys. That's okay. 2-stage heated seats for your second row. Looking around, I mean, I'm pretty comfortable. You do have captain's chairs with a nice little pass through. You can put your snacks, your cooler bag, have your kids in the last row. You chill with your second favorite person right here, or maybe your first favorite person. Who knows? You got rear sunshades back here, manual sunshades, LED lighting with your coat hooks up top as well. And the panoramic roof does extend into the second row. It doesn't go all the way into the third. But like I said, that is okay. Materials to the door panels, hard touch. The entirety of the door panel is hard touch material. Am I going to complain about it? At this price point, not really. Because cars are getting a little bit more expensive and you're starting to see leather a lot less on this vehicle. The fact that you even have leather seating is good enough for me. I'm going to go ahead. It's time to get into the first row because there's not really much else going on back here other than some storage that I'm going to show you under the floor. And that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and press that button, step back out. And as you can see, you have some underfloor storage. Pretty nice, ain't it? On both sides. So one over here and over there. Get the seats out the way. Throw something under the floor. I don't know what you will put under there. It's up to you to figure that out. Now we go ahead and we step up front. I just get right on in. Very easy, very simple for me. I'm a big guy, so getting into vehicles has never really been a problem unless it's something like a Corvette. Because those are pretty low to the floor and they're pretty rough to get into for a guy my size. I'm just be completely honest. But as far as like some of the features in here, I'm going to tell you right now. We got a 19-speaker Harman Kardon sound system. That's all you need to really know about the sound system. Sounds pretty good. I ain't really got no complaints about it. Of course, you got a 10.1-inch display right here. You got a 7-inch display right there. And you have, analog tachometer and speedometer along with that 7-inch display. Pretty standard Chrysler stuff. If you had a 300 or any Pacifica in the past that is pretty decently optioned, you know exactly what you're getting with this vehicle. But I just can't say it's a bad car. It's a great van. My wife hates minivans. I just want to put that out there. So I can't say too much about it because she'll have a problem about that when I get home. But you do have a heated steering wheel. You do have adaptive cruise control with stop and go. You have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, forward collision warning, heated seats for the front and the second row. You got lane departure, 4G LTE hotspot. You have pretty much everything you could possibly need in a vehicle in this exact one. This does come with the family tech group for $1,495, which comes with that, stove vacuum, the 19-speaker Harman Kardon system, and, a few other niceties. You have that fam cam, which is that little camera I showed you back there. But the total price that we're going to get into for this vehicle is $53,280. Now, granted, there are some discounts available at the dealership. I will post their information in the video, as I always do. I always shout out my dealerships. They are very wonderful here at Postman Park. Holla at my boy D. He's amazing. He's one of the best salesmen I've ever worked with. Very accommodating. The whole staff here is great. You're going to have an awesome experience. They sell a lot of vehicles too, so they know what they're doing. And I think you guys should give them a shot. I personally don't work here. I'm just a car reviewer, but I like to show love to my dealerships. But that's enough about that, guys. Let's go around this front interior. You do have a techno leatherette on the steering wheel, so it's not real leather, but it feels pretty damn good, honestly. You do have some white stitching. Horn does feel pretty nice. You do have your updated Chrysler logo. Very sleek, very futuristic, very minimal. Soft touch up here, going across the dash with some more of that white stitching. Typical Chrysler fashion, that elephant skin that they like to put on their products, including some of the Dodge products as well. Come over here. Pretty large glove box. It's not lined with felt, but it is damped. You have some storage in the middle. Not very deep. It's not deep at all, honestly. Talk about something not very deep. But you have a Type A, a Type C, a 12-volt down there. You have some coin holders, which is actually what that's designed. It's really designed to hold coins, just in case you guys did not know. You have some cup holders right here. Close that back. And you have some larger cup holders right here. Wireless charging pad. Little space to add some more coins or change or whatever you want to put in there. 2 more Type-C ports. And a little storage cubby right up here. And in typical Chrysler fashion, some more storage underneath. Automatic up-down, all 4 windows. Thank you, Lord. As far as visibility goes, has some of the best visibility you could possibly think of. I mean, it is a minivan, but it has big, wide open windows, not a ton of blind spots. You can even see out of here on this pillar. Same thing on the other side. You have a lot of ways to look around. You have an auto-dimming mirror as well. LEDs for the vanity mirror. Actually, this is incandescent. That's not LED. I'm sorry, guys. But you do have LED reading lights, which is nice. You can open your trunk from up here. You can open your doors from up here. If you want to actually control that sunroof, you do it with this. It does tilt, and it does open up all the way. So if you want to slide it back, you could do that. But it's nice, guys. This is a nice vehicle. You get a lot for your money. I don't think they're cheating you in any way, shape, or form. You got memory seating in here. Like, come on. What else could you really ask for in a minivan? I think it's wonderful. That's enough for this one, guys. Like, comment, follow for more. If you want more down-to-earth car reviews, that's what I'm here to bring. First person point of view. I could be the star of the show and put myself on camera a lot more, but I want you guys to really look at the car and see it from the point of view as if you were the one sitting inside the vehicle, walking around, seeing everything that's going on. But love you guys. It's your boy ChronicTurbo. Peace.